Yo, what's up, everybody? Sound check, mic check. It's your boy Jez7780 here with long overdue What Grinds My Gears. I've started some of that Grindhouse, and I thought this one I'm gonna go live just for a little bit. Definitely, what a crazy day just to talk about some of the things from yesterday and just some of my takes on it. But what a day, and this is probably cue for our song, right, Grinders? Oh yeah. What's up, Emo? What's up, Socrates? What's up? Good. Mic check, I checked it. All right. And shout out to the 350 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing to my channel. I can't believe the growth of it, and I just hit over 800 on Twitter. Yo, thank you so much, guys. The grinders are out there. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I really appreciate the support. And again, these are just my opinions. What's up, Shadow? How you doing? These are my opinions, and I'm a very passionate gamer, and my history. Go back to the videos, my thoughts of certain things, and I definitely have a lot to say about certain things here, and one of the biggest things. What's up, Eddie T? How you doing? Thanks for retweeting my thing out. So yesterday. So obviously, there was a Phil Spencer interview. And we'll get into that. That's the my second part. But that thing went on crazy yesterday about this Phil Spencer interview. But just to comment about these interviews before I get into the first topic, I just think that I've said this so many times. They just need to stop doing these. What's up, Social Joins? How you doing? They just need to stop doing these interviews. Both Booty with his booty calls and Phil with his Phil Nesses. They just gotta stop talking. The Pug, how you doing? They just need to stop doing these interviews. I feel like they were so effective. I just want to get into this first. My first opinion on this is that they were so effective with the with that reveal at the Game Awards. Surprise, show the game, show the console, amazing, wow, great. It had an impact in December. But then they continue to do these interviews, and I just don't know where these interviewers are grabbing them from, but they just kind of are chipping away at the hype of the next-gen console with every single one of these interviews because they're talking about a future. Oh, I know, Socrates. They're finally telling the truth. They've been telling the truth. I totally agree. But I'm not saying that they're lying in these interviews. I just think they just need to just be quiet because the interviews are good. Yeah, these interviews are good because they got some humdingers in them. I tell you that. But they just got to learn to stop talking, though, because they are just tripping. And I'm just saying they're just tripping over themselves. They got this vision. No, they were kind of remind me of when Phil and Booty does these interviews where he's like, "Oh, we're not gonna make Series X exclusives for the next 1 to 2 years." When you want first party to demonstrate the power of the next gen console, that sounds more of a third party approach, where third party will stick around, maybe cross generation, but for him to just stay that, it kind of kills the little bit of a hype to say, well, it's not necessary to upgrade unless you really want that fidelity. Because there's no games that are going to have you upgrade to that thing. We're just going to, if you want better fidelity, go do it. And that's just oh, man, Joe, just be quiet, man. Just stop. And then Phil talking about his future of his competition. But I think that whole thing with the competition stuff, I'm going to get into that. But it's just, every single one of these interviews have content that they trip over themselves. And we said that this next generation messaging is going to be very important. And they started with some good messaging with, the reveal of the console. I thought that was effective, turning point. And now they just kind of contradict themselves. They kind of go into this from what they said 4 years ago to what they say now. I know things are changing, but they remind me of. That was funny. I was finished watching Terminator 2 again. It was on TV. But they kind of remind me of Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor. They're talking about this future that may or may not exist. And talking about, like, without talking about the now. They should be hyping up Halo. And they better not hold off on, like, just, like, Halo, like, not talk about Halo. Like, 343 has been, you're talking about Sony being silent, 343 has been in a box somewhere. All right? Since E3. Like, they have not teased any Halo stuff. They have done nothing for Halo. And I better see some stuff in the spring or soon about that, because that game is coming out. And I need to see more Halo, because this is the last hope that they know anything to what to do with games. And speaking about their big studios, because we always talk, I see everybody talking about what these studios are making. The shocker came in last night where Rod Ferguson is leaving the Coalition. In March 1st, he's leaving. And he's going to work for Activision Blizzard to work on Diablo. Really strange, because, like, Diablo, I guess he has skills in, loot boxes, I guess. I don't know, but, like, it's not like he's going to make another third-person action adventure or some third-person thing. Like, he's going to just work on Diablo, which, okay. And I really think that Ybarra did a recruitment job on him, because he was promoting that thing like crazy. But the fact that he's leaving, I think Gears, I can't see. The thing is, I'm not going to say that this is not a big issue. This is a big thing, because I think Rod Ferguson was the heart of Gears. Like, he knew the franchise. Like, he knew this. Now, whether the games evolved, the gameplay and all that other stuff, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the IP of Gears. He ran that. Him coming over to Vancouver Studios, or Black Tusk that they were, they changed it because Rod Ferguson came in and bought the IP. They got him, and he came over and they got him working on the IP. And unfortunately refunded. That's right. Yeah, I don't know with the Diablo thing. But one of the things that I wanted to, just sound clip. Let me see here if I have it. I should have had it up here first. But, it's that interview that I kind of go to where, let's see, IGN, it was Rod Ferguson interview. And, is this it? Let me see. Yeah, this is it here. So just hear some of just like...
one we got was his explosion one, which is just like...
I'm going to get to a part here.
Machine. And you find shorter duration means that's right now, so it'd be too early to talk about it.
You were clearly trained on that one. Good job.
Gears
about wraps up whenever if that's after this game.
Yeah, just listen
Be
to
themselves and do their thing. I talked to Matt Booty about that at E3. So, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, yes, you're the Gears studio, but could there come a time, whether it's after this sort of natural arc of Gears wraps up, if that's after this game or the next game or the one after that.
Right.
But, would you guys be able to and be interested in doing a new IP, maybe in addition to Gears at some point? Is that something that could be in your studio's roadmap, or is it, hey, you sign on to work at the Coalition, we're all Gears all the time?
I mean, it's a terrible answer, but it's just a never say never thing, right?
Yeah.
I think we're the Coalition, and we wanted to brand ourselves around the franchise because we were looking at like Turn 10, and we were looking at 343 and going, okay, these are dedicated studios to a dedicated franchise. And so we are very dedicated to the Gears of War franchise, but that's not to say we won't do other things. I think when I signed on in 2014, I had no idea we were going to do a pop-based mobile game, right? And so I think as we look beyond, one of the things about keeping key creative talent is you potentially want to go and do other things creatively. So, but right now it is all Gears all the time. And the fact that we're able to go to all the different places with comic books and novels, movies, and 3 different games, like it's a lot. So I don't like the idea of like, hey, I laugh, and I mean I enjoy the passion, but I laugh when people go like, so you're gonna remaster Gears 2, and I'm like, really busy right now. Like I really appreciate your love for Gears 2, and I love Gears 2 as well, but I just don't have the time right now. So
well, I do like hearing that you're at least leaving the door open, and you could have sat here and said, oh yeah, no, we're the Gears studio, and that's all we're gonna do. So I think you hit on it as gamers, we sit here and go, I mean, we're not developers, but we go, man, it even if you sign on to it, it must be a little creatively stressful at times to just know you're only making the same franchise all the time. So just to even hear you say, like, yeah, the door is open, never say never, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, I think there's pros and cons. I think one of the things that if you find with designers is that constraints are helpful. And so I think if you hand somebody a blank page and say, what would you do? And you have no fandom, nobody knows about it, nobody cares about it, and you don't know what you're starting with, versus, hey, here's a franchise with millions of fans, and all that means is that here's some of the rules. Like, that actually can help propel you to do even more interesting stuff. So to me, what I'd rather do than trying to pivot and do something different is to try to find a way to take all that creativity and put it into Gears and somehow stay true to it while finding things like Gears Pop and Gears Tactics, and even within the main game, what can we do that could still feel like part of the Gears franchise but is interesting and creative.
Fair enough. Last question I have for
Yeah, so, lots of luck to him, where he's going. But, maybe with him leaving, that opens up the coalition to do other IPs and stuff, because he sounded definitely like he wanted to just keep doing Gears games. And maybe, now with him leaving, there's an opportunity for the coalition to do something different. But, yeah, right, Eddie T. Yo, what's up, Glorious? An emo gamer, how you doing? To stay and finish Kate's story, but he must have had a great offer from Blizzard, because he was really passionate about Gears, as you could hear, in that, he loved the comic books. The transmedia, he called it a lot of times in that interview, was like he had comic books, movies, all these things that he wanted, and 3 games for Gears. Like, he was all into Gears, and the fact that, he's leaving, it's like Gears is kind of going with him. Like, that I definitely think that passion. I met him at PAX. We went when we were playing Gears. I think it was Gears 4, and he gave us out the shirts and stuff like that, and it was a meet and greet and stuff like that. Great person. I wish him a lot of luck. It is a little sting, for the Gears franchise, because I know it was getting kind of stale. They tried to do some stuff with 5. I think 5 the story was probably the best story that they've told, and cinematic wise, and I think those open areas could have done better. And they could have added different mechanics for that and expanded that. They felt a little rushed in those open areas, empty. But the story that they told in Gears 5, I thought was pretty effective. It wasn't just a dramatic story, but I think the way it was told was very cinematic and really good for a Gears game, for a Microsoft game, in telling those kind of cinematic stories. The multiplayer, again, it's always been hit or miss. Like, I think, the Gears 5 was okay. I think they really hurt the progression systems in that thing. The whole just kind of Fortniting it and, just trying to make these very expensive skins, I think kind of detracted from any kind of leveling up or progression system that you will want to stick around and stay, rather than you just keep paying money to try to open up these skins. I just think that was a little Fortniting that whole thing. It kind of hurt the progression of the multiplayer. They just play kind of with friends for fun, rather than, and I'll Sea of Thieves, there was really no progression in Sea of Thieves besides buying skins and stuff like that. But just jumping on with friends and playing, that's kind of where it is. But lots of luck to him. Blizzard, I don't know if your bar is recruiting any more executives, but for Coalition, I don't know who's going to take over the Coalition. They didn't say. I don't know if it's next man up or they're going to bring somebody in. I know Cliffy B tweeted out, hey, my offer to consult on Gears is still open. Your move. And, just to consult on Gears. He don't want to be the studio lead, he said. It's too much stress, he said in a tweet later on. But, the thing is we'll see what happens to Gears. He basically rattles Gears Tactics comes out. Good luck. I'm out. Gears Tactics comes out end of the month. In, I think it was March or something like that. And we'll see. That's a PC-only game right now. So who knows when the Xbox port's coming. But, yo, what's up, Mog? How you doing? So, I don't know if it was a conflict, if it was something where he was just like, yo, I want to do this with Gears, and they were like, no, we want Gears 6 to be episodic or something like that. And he's like, oh, no, I want a full-fledged game. And they're like, well, Game Pass. I don't know if there was kind of conflicts in that, because he sounded pretty grounded in Gears, and Blizzard and Mike Ybarra must have just gave him ninja money, to say, come over here. And we got our ninja there, and basically, oh yeah, that's what he got. Maybe the money bag drops, but and that's the Glorious War coming in too. But man, they must have dropped him some glorious money to say come on over, because yeah, and he was really in Gears. He loved all that stuff, and he was really into it, and hopefully Gears lives on, it changes, or they go somewhere else with it. They've got creating some new IP, some big IP, so maybe they go back to what they were working on before Gears, but it sounds like they got a lot of kind of Gears stuff coming out. He dropped off the bag. He must have dropped off the bag, but yeah, I think it's a big hit for the Gears franchise, and the fact that he really knew Gears and knew the essence of it, and it'll be interesting to see how the story's told and what mechanics and what they do if they decide to flip the script, if somebody else comes in and changes it up, or if they continue, or they do something else, or they split the studio up into some Gears and something else. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty. It was pretty. I was like, whoa, wow, that came out of the blue. But yeah, to go work on Diablo. So everybody want that Diablo stuff, but Ybarra agreed him over. He thanked everybody, and yeah, so shout out to him, and good passion. I just think that he did do a decent job in keeping Gears alive. Say what you want about the mechanics and stuff like that, and the changes of it, but I think they could. It definitely needed a refresh or something else. But I do think the story and stuff like that was pretty good. But we'll see. I don't know. I know Merc was like, Gears is done. What happened? He shout out to Merc and the Ultra Preset podcast on Tuesday nights. Dude, man, he was like, he's a huge Gears person. And yeah, he was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, this is like, I don't know, man. I don't know what Gears is going to look like. But yeah, right? Microsoft has all that money. They can match it, right? That's right, Mog. But maybe he wants to do something. The thing is that it doesn't sound like he wanted to do anything new. And I know that was like back in this last year, when Gears was coming out. But like, he seemed pretty compelled to say, no, we're doing Gears from now on. Like, never say never, but we're doing Gears. Like, he wasn't like, yeah, I see Gears coming to like, winding down around now, and we could do something different. He didn't seem like he was, cold on Gears anymore. He seemed like, no, we're in it. We're doing, and he was hyping up that whole interview. He was hyping up the movie, the comic book, all this other stuff, but it is a Sting, man. That's a big studio head. That is a recognizable face. They associate him with the franchise, and it's rough. It's pretty. He was identified with that. So we'll see who they bring in, or if they just use somebody else there, but or if they start making, I don't know, who knows, Game Pass stuff. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if it was the direction of the studio. Again, we don't know the ins and outs of it. If this was just a money bag and Ybarra recruiting, or did he have some kind of ideas for Gears 6 or the next Gears, and, Microsoft was like, no, well, we have Game Pass now. We got to, I don't know, because he was definitely AAA, big budget games. That's what he came from. That's what he made. Yes, they did Gears Pop with that, and they're doing Gears Tactics, but he made that stuff. So I don't know if he was like, yo, big budget, I'm ready to go again. And they're like, yeah, I guess he is moving to California too. Yeah, that's going to do. But we don't know if there was internal discussion, or if it was just a money bag, or maybe both. But the same goes for Ybarra. Mixer was growing and stuff like that, and he just left Mixer. He was promoting the hell out of it, and then he just left Mixer, and now he's been like an honest cat on the other side, like commenting on Microsoft decisions and some news, and really being kind of like, he said it too, stop the talking, just stop the stuff, like just, he's been saying some comments as well too. And one of his comments was about the competition thing, which that was the second thing that came out yesterday, was that, Phil Spencer did an interview. That Phil Ness was flowing. And he did an interview. Yes, that's right, AT. Ybarra tweets are great these days. Yeah, I know they are. Yeah, and also too, what's funny is that he's like, showing that he's buying stuff on the PlayStation Store. He's taking screenshots. He's gonna play Horizon Zero Dawn. He's playing a whole bunch of like PlayStation games now, like playing that, which is pretty crazy. He's like his ties have been cut, and now he can like play anything. I don't know if that's like against, because you see Xbox guys playing like Switches and stuff, but maybe not a PlayStation. I don't know. Even though they say they game on everything, but your bar is like sharing screenshots of everything and buying stuff from the PlayStation Store, which is pretty, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Especially since he's a PC gamer, which I'm always reminded of online that he's a PC gamer. Well, he's playing a PlayStation, dude. Like, because why? There are games there you can't play on PC. Exclusives matter. Go back to my other tweet that I tweeted at yesterday. For everybody saying about exclusives don't matter, remember where you came from as Xbox. Xbox was built on one exclusive. Hashtag Halo Box. That's the power of an exclusive. It put Xbox on the map. Without Halo, I don't think we even had Xbox anymore. Blinks wasn't doing it. Halo did it. Halo and LAN parties. And then Xbox Live really carried that on. But that was with Halo 2. So the biggest exclusive ever made Xbox what it is. So to say exclusives don't matter, games should go everywhere, this is the future. Remember your past before you open your mouth. So now we go, Xbox needs competition for the cloud. So this is the little twist that I wanted to put on this whole topic. We heard what the Phil Ness said. He came out and said, Xbox's competitor is Google and Amazon. Sony and PlayStation, Sony and Nintendo really don't have the infrastructure, to compete. And he's speaking about the cloud, which, a lot of media outlets he just said it's Sony Nintendo are not the competition, it's Amazon, Google, which he did say. But he was referring to the cloud. Like, in the cloud, we're going against them. First of all, Phil Ness should have said anything. Everybody's competition, he should have said. He should not be pulling out and calling out certain aspects. Also, he probably should speak about Microsoft's competition. He was speaking about Xbox. As head of Xbox Gaming, as head of gaming, you don't disregard your two gaming competitors as long as you're making consoles. All right? As long as you're still making consoles to compete against Sony and Nintendo, they still need to remain your competition. And what I tweeted out, which took by storm, I guess, like 90 likes, 80 likes, was that as a gamer, for Xbox gaming, the gaming division of Microsoft, Xbox, saying that their competition is Amazon and Google, two huge companies that barely make games. As a gaming platform, why are you competing against two big companies that don't even make games? That's not exciting as a gamer. Like, that's not, as I'm sitting here with my credit card wanting to purchase your next console, that doesn't excite me to think like, that's going to make you make great games because, Google makes incredible games that you got to really one-up them on, right? Google make nothing. That's why Google's one studio. Amazon got one studio. Google Stadia is getting killed right now because they don't have original content. And that's the thing. Amazon and Google, to compete with them, is basically you're competing for distribution of games. They're distributors of games. Google Stadia is not a platform for amazing game. Like, it's not creating new games. Yet. It's a distribution. And if you are in the cloud and Amazon says, hey, you could play Borderlands 4. Google says, hey, you could play Borderlands 4. And Microsoft says, hey, you could play Borderlands 4. What kind of competition is that? And they're both $14.99 or like, what's that? It's like, what are each of you offering games that I can't play anywhere else? Exclusives. Nobody's going to care if Destiny 2 is streamable on all three of these cloud platforms in the future, Sarah Connor. D-Day is coming. Or what is it? What is Judgment Day? What's up, Ice Queen Gaming? How you doing? But, like, if they all stream the same games, like, who cares? And that was what Ybarra tweeted out when he saw Phil Spencer's interview, right? So let me get to my likes. I'm going to read exactly what he wrote. Oh, damn. What the hell? I'm going to go right to what Ybarra tweeted out. And it is pretty much right, spot on. Which is pretty crazy. Ybarra, man, he's been woke. So Ybarra goes, where the hell is Ybarra? Get your ass. Where are you? What did you say? Oh, hey, I gotta go to my likes. Damn. Sorry, grinders. You know these ad hoc calls. I gotta get prepared. You two prepare. Sarah Connor. We're going to be Judgment Day. The future is coming. The cloud. Stop it. Fucking cloud. Here we go. What did Ybarra say? Ybarra goes, blah, blah, blah. He goes, I'm going to read it word for word. If I can find the friggin' Ybarras. There we go. Only point is what the next generation of game is doing right now. They're on iPads, iPhones, and Switches. I wouldn't be so lazy in shunning Sony. If anything, we know about cloud launches to date. It shows that content is king. They have content. Just fuels console war talk. Bad. I guess. He's responding to somebody's thing. And he even wrote Apple. You know, that's another kind of competitor that Microsoft needs to watch out for. Apple and their Apple Play. You know, or whatever Apple's doing. But he goes, I wouldn't be lazy in shunning Sony. If anything, we know the cloud launches to date. It shows that content is king. Content is king. Okay? And Sony and Nintendo have the content. So to dismiss them and being like, yeah, they just can't do cloud like we do, he's talking again about the tech. Again, ignoring the content, but talking about the distribution, the tech. And this is what's been grinding my gears for the last 2 years. It's that you know how to play your games, you know where to play your games, you know where to buy your games on Steam. Like, there are all these options about how to experience their games. But the question is, who cares where you play your games if you don't want to play their games? Their job is to make compelling software to drive the need to play their games. But it seems that's the missing piece of the puzzle. Gears has been put on everything besides the toilet bowl. Halo Reach was put on Steam PC. Sold a lot. But is putting your games everywhere really driving what your vision is? Gears 5 dropped off real quick with its game, like with in its popularity. You know, it didn't have like a lot of legs because it's everywhere. Gears 4 did the same thing, and it was just in the Windows 10 store. Like, their IP now has to hold a lot of weight in order to get people to play where they want. Because all he seems to be focusing on is the distribution. We got to reach 7 billion people, he said. Well, you could put it on 7 billion devices just like you put Gears and Halo on 1 billion trillion PCs. Did that equate into a 500 million purchases? You got to make the compelling games. And it just seems that Sony and Nintendo have the games that people want to play. People will go and buy that hardware. They will subscribe to those services because they want that content. Microsoft needs to really do that. And Battletoads and even like that Honey I Shrunk, like certain a lot of the lineup that they have, they just don't have that kind of weight. And that's the challenge that he's going to have to face. If you really want to compete, you're going to need the content. And that's where we're seeing what these studios are making and a lot of speculation. But the thing is that you really are going to have to. The challenge. This is the thing. There's so many challenges here with what they're going to face, but you're putting it in a Game Pass service, which automatically kind of puts it in this casual feel where these people are just like, oh, I turned on my thing. Oh, this game showed up. You got to create that urgency. See that? You got to create the demand. And I feel like he's not creating the demand. He's just laying the groundwork. So hopefully at E3 or whenever they talk about, they show the software that's going to be compelling. But even if they do that, there is one huge factor in the success of their distribution. And this is where I wanted to touch on. There is one big factor that Microsoft needs in order for xCloud and Game Pass and for these things to be popular. And not necessarily Game Pass, but more of xCloud, because that's where he's going to mobile phones. And we all know Microsoft needs Google more than Google needs them. Microsoft needs to rely on the competition for the success of their platform because Microsoft doesn't have a phone. They don't have a mobile operating system. They don't have anything. They need Google in order for xCloud to succeed. They need Apple for xCloud to succeed. They're fighting an uphill battle. Google has Android. Google could preload Stadia on every phone and put Stadia as a recommended app. I get it on my phone. And they could do some shady crap that you think if xCloud starts gaining traction, Google's just going to put it on the front page of their store. They're going to bury it. And they're going to keep promoting Stadia because they can do that. It's their store. Why is xCloud not on iPhone right now? Because Apple don't want it there. That's why. Apple waited years and years to put Steam streaming on there and just opened the gates to do that. Because why would Apple want a streaming gaming service on their store when they're trying to sell Apple Play? They got developers making games for their platform. You think they want to put a competitor that you could play better games or bigger games on their store to compete with their developers? Apple controls that. xCloud, you could wait. We might put you on. But the thing is, if xCloud even gains traction, both of them will put the squash on it because they can. They own the store. They own the platform. xCloud cannot succeed because they need the competition to help them. And what is Microsoft going to offer them? Office? Oh, we're going to pull the Office app? Go ahead. I got Pages. I got Google Docs. Like, what leverage do they have? Microsoft needs the competition to succeed. Pre-order your Series X. Where do a lot of people go to pre-order? Amazon. And I'm going to give you an example of this. Because this is where we talk. We talk passion. We talk real here. We're going to talk real stuff here about competition and needing your competition in order to do business. Because that's where Microsoft put them in. They don't have a mobile platform. They don't have a phone. So to get people to play on phones, to reach those 7 billion people, you need to be the coronavirus and jump on a host. And the host just happens to be your competition. All right? I'm going to read this thing out before I go to what the here we go. Here, let me just do this. Home. Oh, home. So, where is this? Okay. I'm going to share this out once I read the chat. So Mog says, 4 of his friends play on Xbox. I asked them a month ago if they had Game Pass. None of them ever heard of it. I told them they could get it for $1 a month. None of them signed up. Because people still have ownership, right? What's up, Karen? How you doing? Brian V, what's up? You know? Yeah. And that's the thing, Mog. Before I jump into that thing, I didn't want to turn this into a Game Pass thing, but I was thinking about this too. You know, the thing about Game Pass, and we've heard Rod said in that interview too, and we even heard the Bleeding Edge developers, at Ninja Theory, that, they have added tutorials, things like that, because they know more people will click on their game, right? So they added some casual stuff to it. Which goes to the point that Game Pass is definitely geared to more of a casual player. It's a person that doesn't buy games day one. It's a person that maybe plays one game on the platform and all of a sudden subscribes and has all these games that, hey, I'll play these. Game Pass is not really designed for the person who buys games day one. For the whole core audience and everybody who's primarily on Twitter that have followed, core Xbox fans, everybody would have probably paid $60 for Gears 5. But everybody was hyping up that it's in Game Pass, which, hey, if it's that cheap for me, I'll do it. Hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button, grinders. Share this video out. What's up, Josh Souls? How you guys doing? Hit that subscribe button, like this video. So, when you do that, you basically took your core audience, the people who buy and spend the most. And this is to go with what Mog said. The people that buy and spend the most are your core audience, right? You basically took those people and turned them into casual Gamecast subscribers. What's up, Lincoln Clay? Yo, how you doing, man? So you took your core and you shifted them to be casualized. Meanwhile, if you decided to keep Gears out of Game Pass, you would have kept your core, buying that for $60, and then also jump into Game Pass for the people that didn't want to pay $60 for it, or the ones that waited for it cheaper. Now you get the best of both worlds. And shout out to the Mooch. Mooch talks about this all the time. I talk about it as a waterfall effect. The waterfall. VR in the house. That's right, baby. Can't wait for next VR, man. Iron Man. But you shifted. You took the core audience and you took your core people who buy and spend the most and turned them into just kind of Game Pass subscribers. You kind of did that. And it's like, you could have. Game Pass is definitely made for those people that don't buy games, but now you're conditioning your core audience who runs out and buys games for $60 day one to just sit around and wait, or to subscribe for $1. So now you're shifted, and that's, I guess, what they wanted to do. This wasn't a mistake. They knew this. That's why they put their games. Because remember, Game Pass was out for a full year before they decided to put their games in it. They've been pivoting for the last 3 years like crazy. Games were just on Windows 10 store. Then they've said, we're going to put them on Steam. They've been pivoting and changing like crazy because they're scrambling. They're trying to find out what works. And looking from their quarter reports, it doesn't look like it's working. I don't know how many L's they could keep posting every quarter before somebody's like, yo, trim the fat. It's the only part that's not making money year over year. Dude. It's losing money year over year. It better be up this year. Yeah. Good luck. Because Bing made more money. Showed a growth year over year. Friggin' Bing. Holy crap. But Xbox was the only one that showed a drop. And they're saying, end of generations. End of generation? You don't believe in generations. You basically came out there and said, we're going to support cross-generation for the next 2 years. So who's bullshitting you? You're not releasing any news telling me to stop buying Xbox and buy the Series X. You're not telling me you want me to upgrade. You're telling me to stay where I am. So why isn't your console selling? That's the question. You didn't tell anybody to stop buying Xbox. You said, hey, stay where you are. You don't have to upgrade if you don't want to. So who the hell are you kidding? End of generations. And if you sold 110 million consoles, 108 million consoles, and you have a drop, you're oversaturated. When you're still at 50 million and can't sell, why are those PlayStation guys not buying an Xbox? Because you don't have the games on it. The content. But anyway, you casualized everybody. Because you want everybody on a subscription base, so then you could just say, go to the cloud. And the thing is that the cloud, back to my point, Microsoft needs the competition. They say they're going after Google and Amazon. Google and Amazon got them by the balls. Google be like, yeah. And then go to my point right here. I'm going to share this out. I'm going to share this. Because I'm going to show you exactly what happens when you rely on competition. Right? Here. Where is this? So, back in 2018, I remember going through this. Amazon trying to get Alexa out there, the voice application, said, we're not selling Google Home. We're not selling a competitor to our Alexa. We're not selling your Nest products because we have our own line of Amazon products that work with Alexa. And Amazon said, we're not doing it because Amazon is a distributor and we're not selling Google products that compete with our products. We want to promote Alexa and all that stuff. We're not going to sell Google stuff. Well, do you know what Google did? See? Amazon Move heats up its war with Google over the future of the smart home. But then hear this. The two are also battling over video and devices. So you know what happened? Amazon said, okay, we're not selling your stuff. And Google said, okay, you're not going to sell our products that compete with your products? Well, guess what we're going to do? Own an Amazon Fire TV or a Fire Stick? Well, guess what? The native YouTube app, we're pulling it. And they did. And what was funny is that when I booted up my Fire Stick, there was a thing on there. A little notification that said, hey, you want to know what? Because Amazon is doing this, we are pulling the YouTube native app from the Fire Stick. Find alternate ways to watch YouTube. And on December 1st or whatever like that, they pulled it. No more native YouTube apps. So you couldn't watch chat. There were all features that were basically part of the native YouTube app. Couldn't do it. And then guess what happened? Amazon said, oh, we lost the app. They used their Silk browser to just browse use Silk browser to navigate YouTube. Because Google pulled the app. And guess what happened? Amazon did. About a few weeks later, what's up, Jemai? How you doing? A few weeks later, Amazon goes, all right, we're selling the Google Home and the Google Nest. We'll sell it in our Amazon store. And guess what Google did? They waited about 2 to 3 months before they reintroduced the YouTube app natively back to the Amazon Fire Stick and Fire TV. And then Amazon got rid of the YouTube.com Silk browser bullshit. They're like, yeah, we'll get rid of this thing. Use the native app. We're happy to bring the native app of Google. Another instance. Why can't you stream directly to YouTube from your Xbox? Why doesn't Google put a Chrome app in the Windows 10 store? You click on Chrome in Windows 10, it takes you to the Chrome.com website to install outside of Windows 10. It's not even an app. It's an app to take you to a website. Why does Google not have a native Windows 10 app? Yeah, the Windows 10 store sucks, but YouTube doesn't. YouTube doesn't have a native app in the Windows 10 store. Google does whatever they want to do. They don't want to do something, they don't have to do it. Microsoft tried to compete with them with the Edge browser. Well, guess what? That didn't work. So then Microsoft said, okay, well, let's use Chromium. Now they're using Google for their browser. The thing is that Google doesn't need anybody to... Google is fine by Google. PlayStation is fine by PlayStation. They don't need anybody else to succeed, to be successful. They sold 108 million consoles. That's all their closed system. They didn't depend on that. Same thing with Nintendo. But Microsoft, in order for xCloud And for them to lift off the console and to be in the 7 billion market, they need Apple, Amazon, and Google. At least they need Google and Apple to distribute the app. And you think if xCloud gains traction and it's like the biggest thing ever, you think that Google is going to advertise it? You think that Apple's going to? If it competes with what they're offering directly, like Stadia? And if Apple does one, or if even Amazon does one? You think Amazon's selling Game Pass things? Like, they could do some crazy stuff. But the thing is that this is a future that Microsoft has to deal with. If this is the future that Phil Spencer wants going against this competition, they're going to need them. So I don't know how you release stuff that they're off. If Google releases Stadia and you release xCloud and they're competing directly, like you need them. And that's an uphill battle that Microsoft has to fight. And that's why I think that they should have really focused on the core, really focused on the console, and built and established themselves and got those games coming out that people want to play, that people can't wait to play, and then say, guys, guess what? Now you can play them elsewhere. And guess what? The industry will drive that. They would say, you got to put xCloud on there because I've got to play this amazing game. But the problem is Microsoft doesn't have that kind of content. And it's going to take a while for them to even have that kind of content. And it can't just be one game. It's going to have to be a library of games. That's why it's not just one and done. Microsoft has to build an arsenal of games. And unfortunately, the model of Game Pass really, I feel, doesn't really yield to big blockbuster games that are console or industry drivers. They might be innovative, small little focus games, but I can't see them dropping this big kind of production that really moves the industry and putting it in Game Pass for $10. I don't know in that world. If they take the hit and do it, then hey, that's great for us. But I just can't see how Game Pass, I think, restricts the type of games that you can make because you got to make them for a subscription. You got to make them. So we will see if that content is. I hope it's not just quantity over quality. You know, let's just throw a whole bunch of games there just keep the carrot out there to keep us subscribing. And that's why if you had balance, if you had a tier outside of Game Pass, you could have used that to drive the services, just like Sony's doing. Hey, let's put God of War in our service for a little bit. Get some people to sign up, you know? Let's use this big IP that sold consoles for us. Let's throw it in our service right now for a little bit and have it move some subs. Last of Us 2, that will sell consoles. And then you know what? 2 years from now, maybe we'll put Last of Us in PlayStation Now for a little bit and people will get a chance to play it. When it's $10 on store shelves, we could deliver it through a subscription base. You have that flexibility. And Last of Us 2 is not being built with like, hey, you know, the guys that are going to get Last of Us 2 are paying $10 a month. We got to make sure that they stay subscribed for about 5 months. So why don't you make Last of Us 2 maybe episodic so people can just stick around and subscribe? I'm sure that's the kind of discussions that go on. And you're right, Josh Holmes. And Samantha here, her comment says, no one can say they have faith in Xbox because they do not have a clear vision. Stuff changes every week. Samantha hits it right on the point. And that leads to my biggest frustration. That's why I do this grinds my gears thing, because they pivot and change. You know, if you go back and read Phil Spencer interviews in 2017 when he's just talking about resolution, 4K, 4K, nobody cares about frame rate. They can't discern that. And then now he's hyping up frame rate is it. Yeah, because you're hyping up your next console. Like, you can't just be saying nobody can see 60 frames a second and then say that is the be-all and end-all of gaming right now, because now you have a console that could capable of doing it. And Josh Schultz says Microsoft is setting themselves up for a bigger failure. They are. The thing is that they're taking themselves off of a device that they own, an ecosystem that they own. Like, look when they first started putting their games on Windows 10, right? They put their games on Windows 10. It was all within the same ecosystem, right? Well, that shit broke down because nobody bought the games in Windows 10. They put it on Steam. They got to pay Steam royalties for all those Halo sales. You think that's more of a failure than basically just sticking to your own platform? And Eddie T hits it because Phil did say this. It's the flywheel model. They don't care about quality of games. They want frequency. Exactly. They want this stuff to just keep going because they want it to kick off and want it to do. Look at UWP. All that hype. It was going to bring more games to the Xbox, right? UWP. They were porting it over overnight. And what happened? UWP is dead. They pulled it. You want to know why? Because the Windows 10 store is dead. Nobody wanted to bother with the Windows 10 store. They couldn't get developers. Hey, isn't that the reason why the Windows Phone is dead? They couldn't get developers. Microsoft has this notion of hyping up these things, trying to get developers on board. Devs say no thanks, and then Microsoft scraps it. And just like Samantha said, they don't have a clear vision. They're changing their mind every second. Hey, and you watch the people's defense change every second. When it was on PC, it was like, hey, it's the same ecosystem. Microsoft's making the money. It doesn't matter. It's Windows 10 and Xbox. They're all one store. It's great. They merge a store. But then Microsoft goes, hey, we're putting everything on Steam now. It's like, oh, now explain. Well, they own the operating system. Oh, okay. Now, like, you just keep opening up your mind. Like, that's the thing. Like, everything that they do, it keeps making you think bigger and bigger and bigger. But when you keep thinking bigger, you lose focus. You know, it's like taking that focus wheel. You're honed in on a vision. And then what happens when you keep turning that focus wheel bigger and big? You keep doing it. What happens?
No deal.
You lose focus. You keep opening up. Now you have no identity. Now you're just out there. You're spamming the world. That's what they're doing. They're spamming the world. Spam it with mediocre content. Content is king, as Yabara said. Especially when everybody got these services. And what's funny is that Sony actually shook hands to get Azure servers. So if you tell me, and I did a video on this, if you tell me that Sony is capable of using your Azure infrastructure and delivering the content that they're developing, you just wrote yourself into the ground. So how can you say this? Say Sony and Nintendo don't have the infrastructure when Sony shook Satya's hand to use Azure servers for microchips or image chips that they're going to use in their Surface cameras for Windows Hello. So to just write off Sony flips the script. They got the content. Disney Plus, look how many subscribers they had. Why? They have the content. That's the thing. And that's what you should be doing, making the content that people want to play. Not just games, because I see that too. Oh, Microsoft has games now. They got to make the games. And with all the money that they got, they still haven't proven that they know how to make yet a game that people want to play. Like that Halo 2s, those Halo 3s, those Gears 1s and 2s, those things that became events to get. That's what they need. And when people say they need new AAA IP, yeah, they got Sea of Thieves. They got IP, new IP. But everybody knows what they're talking about, okay? Don't act dumb. You know exactly what Microsoft needs because I see it all over Twitter. Oh, they should make a perfect dock with amazing perfect dock. Do you think with those financials that they show, Satya walked into Phil's office and go down to the initiative, tell them to make, I'm going to give you $10 billion, $10 million. You go walk down to the initiative and tell them to make this amazing perfect dock game that no one has ever seen before with production value and cinematics and amazing. When he looks at those financials of Microsoft, services are down. Hardware is down even further when it was already down. You think Satya knocks on Phil's door and saying, yo, a wallet is wide open. Go tell Initiative to make a blockbuster game that's the size of Halo. You think? Satya probably knocked on Phil's door. Go, the fuck out of here. Give me. Here's $1,000. Go tell them to make a game. Put it on Game Pass. Hurry up. We got to get to the cloud. The financials are not warranting Microsoft to be like, yo, like, go make these blockbuster games. And then when they do this to say, oh, and then just throw it in a subscription. Enjoy. Disney puts all that money behind Frozen 2 and they go, oh, you know what? Put it into Disney Plus. Let everybody watch it for $10. No, Disney's like, in 3D for $25.99. Put it in the big theaters. $15.99 each seat. Oh, you got 5 kids? It is $200 to go watch Frozen 2. And then go pay me $10 a month to watch it on Disney Plus when I put it in there next year. Avengers Endgame. All these superstars. All this money. No. All right, guys. Thanks for that amazing product. Come here. Put it in that $10 a month Disney Plus. No. And that's what I mean. Game Pass, I think, restricts that. And Gears was an outlier, but they put compensation in there for those with those. Or you take a big game, put it in there. You either make it episodic, or you put microtransactions in it. But the thing is like, it's the content, and we always come back to this. It's the content that drives this. And yesterday, with Phil saying that stuff, it wasn't speaking about content. It was speaking more about distribution and focusing on Amazon and Google, who don't even make games. Stadia is not a game-making thing, as of yet, I said. It's just a distribution way. It's just a different way to play. What's up, D? How you doing? So, they just need to stop talking. Because every time they talk, they just keep ticking. They keep chipping away at that Series X. Like, you know, they should be talking games. You know, if they got the games. You know, Bleeding Edge. It's still in secret betas. Dude, it comes out in a month. Oh, they might have I have a PC closed beta. Sign up for it. I'm like, what are you hiding? Why are you hiding these games? Put the demo out there for Bleeding Edge. Let everybody play it. What are you hiding? We're beta. Stop. It's been in super secret beta for over a year. Just like Sea of Thieves. Why are you so, like, when you have the games, and this is my other point, they starting to come out with games, their marketing sucks. Their marketing sucks. Their marketing team meetings must be like this.
They're really focusing first on what it means to play these games on your phone. So we thought about how can we get as many people playing on the phone as possible. I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, that's their marketing meetings. There you go, Jemiah. The marketing meetings. That's their marketing sucks. They got games. Try to make people excited about them, please. Talk about Ori. Show some Ori demo. Like get people hyped up for the games, please. Not hyped up for Game Pass announcements. Show me old ass games getting put into Game Pass. But show me get me excited for your games. Sony built Days Gone hype months before Days Gone came out. People were made the decision to play that game based on what they saw. Microsoft hides the things in betas. I don't know. Hype them up. Get people excited. Get people talking about your games. Don't just show me a clip and then hide it in a beta and then say, oh, it's coming to Game Pass next week. They're horrible. Maybe these games are good, but Microsoft's not hyping them up. They're not hyping them up at all. Instead, they're coming out and doing stupid-ass interviews talking about a future.
Judgment Day. The end of the world. It's today, 3 hours from now.
2 hours and 53 minutes. Don't do that.
Like, instead, they're talking about this Judgment Day future. Oh, the clouds in the future and all this other stuff. Like, talk about the now. You got games coming out. Finally, after 2 years of nothing, of trash, you got something. Get people hyped. Market it. Make people excited to play your content. That's a start. Stop going out there and saying, we're going to make games for the next 2 years. No need to buy a new console. Don't come out there and go, I'm not focused really on Nintendo and Sony right now. It's Google and Amazon. They don't even make games. Why? Because you can't compete with them? You don't want to fight platform wars while they're Amazon and Google reaching 7. Guess what, Microsoft? I'm sorry to tell you, that ship has sailed. For consumer level stuff, Amazon and Google got you beat. How's Cortana doing? That trash. And what's hilarious is that they killed Cortana just to put Alexa and Google Home working with the Xbox. You originally had Xbox record that, Xbox do this. Then you got Cortana telling you shit. Then you scrap all that and kill it. And then say, Google and Amazon are coming on Xbox. Like I said, Microsoft needs them more than they need Microsoft. They go knocking on Google. Put Google Home on Xbox, please. Alexa, get over here. Cortana's out in the... We put that bitch to rest. She's done. She's out of here. We killed Kinect. Amazon, get over here, please. Google. You brought this shit to... You had stuff. You had it. But it didn't work. You couldn't get people excited about it. And you let Google and Amazon dominate home automation. I remember Bill Gates talking about home automation. Done. And guess what? Do you control that from your Windows computer? No. You control that from your Apple iPhone and from your Android phone. Microsoft is not even in that. They think they could throw money at stuff and think that that works. Oh, we threw tons of money in Azure. We're going to be successful. We threw tons of money at Ninja. We threw tons of money at Shroud. Mixer's going to be successful. You got to be honest. You got to build. And you got to market properly. Just throwing money around because you got it. How many and I'm talking more on the consumer level, because enterprise, that's their bread and butter, is their enterprise. But their consumer electronics, their consumer stuff. Surface is genuine. Surface is good. And Panos Panay is incredible. That guy should be head of Xbox day one. Get that Phil Ness out of there. Panos Panay needs to run gaming. Please. That guy is the ultimate salesman. He's the ultimate hype man. He gets you to buy anything. He's genuine. He sounds genuine, but he gets you hyped. Panos Panay should run the gaming division. He drops huddle. He is awesome. Rod Ferguson is a very passionate person. And he loved that Gears. And for him to leave it, to go work on Diablo. There might be other things going on. Who knows? But he loved that stuff. And he fought for big AAA games. Like, yeah, he made big AAA. That's what he did. And I hope him leaving doesn't mean that now, hey, Coalition now just turned into a wonderful little Game Pass studio. They can make 4 and 5 games like Gears Pop, Gears Tactics, and Gears Makeup player or something like Gears Gears skins, and who the hell knows they're gonna make. I hope Microsoft does not dilute the coalition, please. I hope that Rod Ferguson wasn't the glue that said, Microsoft, screw your Game Pass shit. I want to make what I want to make. I hope he wasn't that person, because if he was, God bless the coalition. He was the coalition, Samantha. You're right. He was the coalition. So I'm expecting he was the glue that told Microsoft, take that Game Pass crap and shove it up your ass. I want to make Gears 6 a blockbuster. Who knows? All I'm saying is I hope Microsoft don't take coalition now and say, hey, please make a sequel to Gears Pop. I want Gears Pop 2. Gears Pop 4. I want Gears Pop 3. I want all these little Gears games. And go make Gears race karts with the Forza engine. Put that in Game Pass. That sounds wonderful. Forza Kart was a wonderful game. Forza Arcade. That still never came to Xbox for some reason. I don't understand. It was on Windows PC. Forza Kart. I don't know. Forza Night. Miami Heat. I don't know what the hell they'll call it. They're all over the place. I hope he wasn't, because if he was, God bless this coalition. And God bless Gears. Next up, 343. I'm on your ass. You're next.
Who is your daddy?
You better not screw Halo. Because if Halo is done, there we go. See you later, Jemiah. But yeah, you're next. That's why I want to see more of Halo, because I got to see what they did to it. They already scared me by calling it Halo Infinite and telling me it's different than Halo 5. That's good and bad. I don't know what different means, but I'm nervous about Halo Infinite. I got to see that. Oh, man. Oh, baby. That's the next one. That is the next one. But, hey, shout out to 21. We had grinders watching. What happens? Social Join said, What happens if Sony IP outsells is better than Halo? 343 gets more passes than any other dev. Yeah. You know what? So the thing is Halo Reach on PC was a monumental event, right? It should have been. But Halo just doesn't, like, it just doesn't have that thing anymore. But I still want to play it. I still got to play Halo, and I hope they don't screw with it. I hope they don't. I really hope. Because that I have like, Gears I love. Like, Gears was great, but I grew up on Halo, man. Halo was it. And if they fucking screw my Halo, Jemiah left. I was gonna play his horns again.
Put that cookie down now.
You don't even know the grinds my gears we're gonna have if they change this thing and it reeks of Game Pass.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
If it does.
Now, whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
That will be a monumental event, and I hope you subscribe to catch that one, because if that happens, if I get a reek, a stench, that my Halo was modified or changed or something, the Game Pass,
Take it back.
oh yeah. And my final message, talk about the games, stop doing these friggin' booty calls and Phil Ness interviews. And please just hype up the games that you have coming this year. And stop worrying about PlayStation 5. They got 4 huge games that are coming out before even PlayStation 5 comes. The PlayStation 5 is like a friggin' bonus event. After I go play Last of Us 2, and I go play Ghost of Tsushima, and I go play Final Fantasy 7. Come on. The PlayStation 5 is a fucking cherry on top. That's not the ice cream cone. So don't worry about them. All I'm going to say is if they come out and they talk about next-gen exclusives only on PlayStation 5, you better take the fastest elevator and get to that cloud as soon as possible, because on the ground, you're done. That Series X they'll be stacking that up like Lego bricks. That's why it's shaped like that. That thing will not go. If Sony comes out with next-gen exclusives and only on PlayStation 5 and they just go boom, 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 dude. Neo 2? I'm not a big Neo fan, but hey, that's a game. These are big games. These are big games that if any one of those games that Mog listed was on an Xbox flow chart for this year, it would be huge. But instead you got Battletoads, Bleeding Edge, and Ori. Ori's the only thing that's decent. And then Halo. And a whole bunch of other Game Pass fodder games. Who knows? Wonderful indies, projects, startups, passion projects. All the wonderful little things. That's why you took a brand of Xbox and turned it into a side console. It's an option. The whole Xbox is an option. Ungrounded. Yes, grounded. We got to be grounded when we're talking about the cloud, right? It's okay. Blue Rezumi says, it's okay. Gears is fine as long as Rod's in charge. Oops.
I lied.
Yeah, I know. I know, man. I know. That is not a good day. I'm just, insane. I can't believe that happened, though. But you basically took you made so many options for Xbox. You turned the whole platform into a whole other option. And that's why I call it hashtag Peekaboo Gaming. They made it so easy for you to kind of jump on. I'll play Ori. Here's $10. They're like an arcade now. You jump in, you drop a couple of quarters. Here you go, Phil. Here's some quarters. I'm going to play your game. All right, I'm done. I'm going home now. Go play some real games. Thanks. I'm so glad that you spent 10, 11 years building up this brand to tell me that why you belong in the console space and get me to invest in everything that you do, just to come in now in the last couple of years and go, the whole gaming division's an option. Oh, we're focused on the cloud. You don't even need it. Woo, we're an option. Your games are an option. Like, yeah. I'll dab in them. There's no investment. You give Phil a couple of quarters and you get to play his games. Hashtag Phil Ness. It's the Phil Arcade. Go give Phil a couple of dollars donation. Say, hey, Phil, let me play all your games. Thanks, Phil. I'm done. Thanks. You made it so easy. And I don't even have to buy your console. I just do it on PC. I can do it on a laptop. Thanks, Phil. There you go. Hey, if that's success for you, Phil, thank you. Because I'm milking you for everything and giving you nothing. You get a couple of quarters. You have to make the content to make me want to stay and invest. But again, there's not a lot of ownership and investment. There's no ecosystem. You jump on and jump off. It's like a roller coaster. I jump on Game Pass. I jump off Game Pass. I play a little bit. And everybody's like, hey, that's fine. That's what Phil wants you to do. Does he now? Because do you hear what you're saying? You're beating the system. You're manipulating the system. You're not staying devoted. He's giving you $60 games for $10 or $1. Oh, that's fine. That's what Phil wants. Does he? Look at those financials. Does he? Is that what Satya wants? Do they? Oh, but Phil, the games make money on Steam. They don't care where you play. You're on Steam, they're making money. Are they? Because the one number that they share every quarter doesn't look like that. And how many quarters is that going to happen? Until Microsoft's like, shh, we got to change. We got to change. How many more? How many more? But that's what Phil wants. That's what he's going to get. Hashtag Peekaboo Gaming. Jump on, jump off. Thank you. Hey, no investment from me except $10, the price of a sandwich. It's wonderful. It's shit, do I need to say? Glorious. Because I can go spend my money elsewhere where I think there's more value. I can go buy 2 games. I can go buy more games. I can buy more games for other platforms, for PC, for PlayStation, for Nintendo, because I got budget gaming over there in Phil Ness land. Thanks. Hey, you want to ride? Well, I'll ride you out, man. We're done. You want to focus on Amazon and Google, who you need to be successful? Dude, I don't know where you're going to find success. I don't know where. I don't know where the hope comes from. Because when you hear it, everybody's talking about big blockbuster games that they're hiding. Okay. Well, when it comes out, even when that game comes out, it is going to be playable everywhere for $10. Great. That's why I comment on Xbox, because I am an Xbox owner. I have 2 Xboxes. It's called an Alienware and an Acer. You know them. That's Xbox. Chat with my friends, play for free. And I could do some work in photo editing. Great. Thanks. I got an Xbox. So when Microsoft says they're focusing on 2 companies that don't make games, that doesn't excite me as an owner of Xbox. That's right, Brian V. Like a great man once said, give them nothing, but take from them everything. Dude, that's the motto. That should be on all Xbox products. Give them nothing, take from them everything. But you don't think Phil Ness and company is smart? They're smart, man. They know this. That's why I'm waiting for the reach around, man. I'm waiting for them to slap $15 a month on this stuff, and let's see how successful Game Pass is. You could have ate a box of Pop-Tarts and had 2 weeks of Game Pass to play Gears. You could have ate a bunch of cookies and played Gears 5 for a bunch of chocolate chip cookies. Sony announces losses. They get 5,000 other numbers they could talk about. We sold 6 million consoles. We did this. We did that. We sold this much attach rate. Nintendo, you could go to their website. They show you. Even the Wii U, they show how much of a failure it is. They show you the console sales. They're transparent with their customers. And know why that matters? Because that's what developers see. And developers gonna develop for the most popular consoles. They're not developing for a dying console that's not showing growth. The Switch is getting all those games because of growth. And they don't need Microsoft. They don't need Amazon. They don't need Google. Nintendo's doing it because of the content and the games that people want to play. Yeah, they got shady practices. Yeah, their online sucks. Yes, it's a tin can to talk to somebody. But they got the content that people will tolerate that bullshit for because they got the game's only place to play. Same thing with Sony. Sony's not perfect. They got some horse shit going on too. But you go show me Last of Us 2, I'll roll on that horse shit because I got to play it. Microsoft needs something to deal with their bullshit. That's why the only thing that happens is all their bullshit comes to the top because they got nothing to accept it. Like, there's nothing there. They're going, hey, that's a great game. I'll deal with their bullshit to deal with, there's nothing but bullshit. There's nothing but bullshit over there. And it's all that floats to the top.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, that's right. So we need to see. But again, you can't discount Sony and Nintendo who have the content. And if they flip a script and they use your Azure servers, like Sony said already, and distribute their content with the services, like, dude, you're done. That's the thing. And that's the other thing that people don't get. Oh, Sony's going to do exactly what Microsoft's doing. Do you know that is basically the death blow? All right? That is the death blow. Because if Sony and Nintendo do what Microsoft is doing, Microsoft will be obliterated. So you should just sit where you are, enjoy your peekaboo gaming, jump on and off the roller coaster as you like, enjoy your subscriptions, and just... Because if you really want Sony and Nintendo with the content, as Ybarra said, bleed green Ybarra, now he's talking the truth, They got content. And if they decide to jump in, you're done because you don't have the content that people want to play. You could have 100 games, but nobody go open games on your Android phone or iPhone. Millions of games. Doesn't matter about quantity. No. If there are games that you want to play, the market will dictate it. You can't force people to go somewhere. You can't force people to go to Mixer. You need the content. You can't force people to subscribe. People will subscribe just like Disney Plus. Netflix was a huge thing. Disney Plus is creeping up in there because they got the IP, the content. And tell me about exclusives don't matter again? It's called intellectual property for a reason. Microsoft their own Cuphead, all their games. Put their games on the Switch. That's great. Do you see even a friggin' a Luigi hat in a Microsoft store anywhere? Is anybody from Nintendo going Banjo? Yeah, Microsoft IP. Here you go, Nintendo. Did Nintendo say, Microsoft, thank you so much. Here's a new Yoshi game for you? Nintendo's like, thank you. Give me another. I want you to make me a Banjo game. Microsoft is given. Everybody's taken. Microsoft is given. Their gaming division, not too hot. Everybody's taken. Take from them everything, give them nothing. Hey, if Big Bad Microsoft wants to give out their IP, they want to put Halo on Steam, shit, yeah, thanks, Phil. You want to, that's your identity. You want to put, hey, good, thanks. Sorry it didn't make you break even, but hey, made Steam good money, thanks. What does Xbox get? What does Microsoft get? What? To say, hey, more people got to play our game? Okay. If that's success, then that's success. And that's what I ask. What is Xbox winning? Yeah, right? Yeah. Sam Mayer says, Xbox act like Rod leaving it is not... Oh, it will be a big deal. Trust me. I think he was the glue that kept that game. He's the heart and soul of Gears, okay? So... You know, that's like a Corey leaving or Neil Druckmann leaving. Like, they, you know, it might not be the same. But also, you got to look at he's leaving within what realm. He's leaving in this realm of Game Pass. And Phil Spencer saying we're going for cloud and all this other stuff. Like, Phil's not really talking their language. You know what I mean? He came in here to make big blockbuster Gears games. Maybe he's not getting that kind of money to make that kind of game because, again, they got to go with Game Pass. Like, maybe they want a smaller focus Gears. Maybe he doesn't want that. You know? I don't know. But Rod was Gears, dude. What's up, Meds? Game Pass, baby. Game Pass PC, yes. Take from them everything, give them nothing. It's wonderful. Peekaboo Gaming. I love it. But, yeah. You know, I don't know, man. People leave every day. Rod was a pretty big leave, though. He wasn't the guy leaving from... But wait. I thought I see news articles when somebody from Naughty Dog who painted the overalls on somebody is hired at the Initiative. Or the guy who drew the 4K horse nuts on the Rockstar's game, he got hired at the Initiative. That's a big deal. That's news. But Rod Ferguson leaving Coalition... Nah, happens every day. Oh, does it? But the 4K horse nut guy got a job at the Initiative, though. He's tired of drawing hairs on the nuts, so he came over to the Initiative and they said, hey, here you go. Do something else. The janitor over at Naughty Dog got hired over at Ninja Theory. Hey, I can clean your bowls now. That's news. But Rod Ferguson, the heart of Gears, leaving. Nah, not too much. They'll be good. They'll be good. It's okay. The horse nut guy left Rockstar. Phil went over there to inspect that guy's the horse nuts. He's like, "Oh, this is excellent. I want you all in our studios." But hey, man, now I'm just doing rambling stuff. But I gotta say, yeah, it's a big deal. Rod Ferguson left. He was the heart of Gears. Hopefully, the coalition stays intact and they continue to make Gears games. And maybe this is a good pivot. That's the only thing I could think of. Is this a good pivot for them? That maybe coalition will do something else? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this is what they needed. I don't know. He got the money bag. Maybe he got, I don't know. And the other thing is, yeah, Hauser leaving for Rockstar. That was big too. But he was the founder of it, though. They were the writers and founders. He's been there for a long time. But again, he has his better half there, though. He has his other brother. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know what happened. But I don't know. That's another thing. But Rockstar, hey man, that sucked. But they got the other Hauser brothers. The Hauser brothers. And the other thing is that, Xbox needs the competition to be successful. So, they put them in this situation. Without the Windows Phone, without a mobile operating system, Microsoft needs Amazon. They need Android and Apple to distribute xCloud. And whenever they come to Apple's saying, well, wait. Microsoft put themselves in position because they had the hardware. They had the ecosystem. They just need to build on it. Instead, they kind of abandoned it and said, hey, let's put our shit everywhere. And it's like, dude, you're depending on everybody else now when you had a core. Hey, if they think that's the best thing, that's the best thing. I'm going to take advantage of all the opportunities I have. Yeah, he made that GTA money. That's right, the Coon. He made that GTA money. But yeah, hey, if that's what they want and Phil's letting us do it, then hey, all I can recommend is if there's a game there that you want to play, like Ori, sign up, play it, and cancel. Thanks. I don't know how long that could go on for, but hey, you handing out free samples, I'll stay here and take them all. Until you go out of business, I guess. I don't know. I'm not, we can't be pocket watching. Can't be pocket watching. Well, I can tell you, it's killing the brand. So enjoy it while it lasts. Because I think Satya he's one around that hatchet going, Phil, where are these numbers? Where are these numbers you promised me when you bought all these studios? And Phil Ness is like, Kumbaya, Kumbaya. And Satya's like, yo, what's going on here, Phil? Where are these numbers? You told me to go big in game, and I'm going big, but I'm not seeing big numbers. I don't know what to say. It feels like these gamers are smart, man. They're signing up for $1 and they're leaving. It's not just like, but Phil, you told me this is the big numbers. It feels like they're smart, though. They signed up for Game Pass, they played my Gears, and they jumped off. I don't know what happened. It's out there, it's like, Phil, I gave you all that money. The open checkbook. Then all those fans were talking about that open checkbook. I gave it to you. And Phil's like, oh, I know. I bought all those studios. I went cheap, too. I bought the collective. I put some cheap studios with that book. But Phil, you told me the money's coming. Let's give it time. We got the Series X. He goes, yeah, that cost a lot of money, too. And then that booty slapping that friggin' mouth around telling me that nobody needs to upgrade. I know I gotta slap that booty. Don't worry, Satya. I'll slap that booty. Don't worry. He shouldn't be talking like that. They gotta buy the Series X. They gotta buy. That's the deal. It's about the frames. Hold on, Satya. I'll go do an interview right now and tell them it's about the frames. They'll go out. Okay, Phil. You better go out there. And you go tell them it's about the frames and they gotta upgrade the Series X. And you go slap that booty. Because booty shouldn't be talking like that. All right, Satya. I'll go. I'm coming back. I'm coming back next week. I'm coming back next quarter. I want to see those numbers, Phil. I want to see those numbers. Or I'm going to put you in the bathroom. You can go in the bathroom. Okay. And Booty, you can't be talking that stuff. They got to upgrade to the Series X. We got to get those numbers. Okay, Phil. I'll keep my booty quiet. I'll keep my booty quiet. You better. Okay, Phil. I'll keep my booty quiet. I'm gonna come back and slap that booty. Satya's on my ass about those numbers. I went around Kumbaya. I went to go visit Sony. I shook their hands. Shit, I'm loving up some Nintendo. Yeah, I always tell everybody they're across the street. They're my friends. Come on, man. I'm out here selling myself out here, trying to be Kumbaya. We got to get those numbers. Take those Game Pass subscriptions out of those cookies. Take them out of those Pop-Tarts. We need people to stop paying money. We're going to make that money. Oh, man, I go all day. I got to stop. Social joins. I'll do the last comment here. Have you noticed? I don't know. Everybody sounded the same. I don't know if you can distinguish Satya and Phil. Those are the conversations they must have. Have you noticed every time Sony drops some good news, Phil comes out the next day and next hour trying to hype up Xbox, ultimately shooting themselves in the foot with bad messaging? That's right. That's totally social joins. That's totally right, man. And Brian V says, it's like Philip said, you didn't see what we added to Game Pass. Go play games. Don't look over here. Go over there and enjoy your scrap. No, I mean find your next game. Yeah, exactly. It's funny because when I went to PAX last year, I'm going to PAX this year again. I definitely gonna do some videos. I'll put them up here. Got some cool. I got some good footage. I got great camera stuff. So I'm gonna hopefully capture some good stuff. So subscribe, sign up. To grind the house. Because I'm gonna do some stuff at PAX East at the end of the month. I'm really looking forward to playing that retro wrestling game and meeting Stevie Richards. I'm hyped for that. I'm gonna go see that. But yeah, last year at PAX, man, I still have them. I still have the 15-day trials. So, wonderful. Yeah, I'm going to collect a whole bunch of them. Yeah, they stack. So, I'm going to do that. But anyway, guys. Yeah, they had a PAX. Is that they just had this random thing where you click the button and it just randomized all the games in Game Pass and said, you should play this. It's like a random, like a random button. Like, you should play this. It's like, hey, man. Hey, do what they want. You know what? I'm going to take from them all this stuff that they got because I got my Xbox, so, do it. And, hopefully they turn around their messaging. Hopefully they get a little wise. They just got to stop doing these interviews. I can't believe it's only February and they still just, kind of just keep the messaging. Just stop. Because everything they're saying is not stuff that you want to hear in a console release year, This is the year they're releasing new hardware. Like, you just got to stop with your future Judgment Day predictions. Like, you should just say everybody's competition. We're competing with Sony and Nintendo in the console space, and we're also competing with Amazon and Google in the cloud. Done, Phil. But don't just say, Sony and Google, Nintendo and Sony, I respect them, but we're focused, our future goals on Google and Amazon. It's like, Phil, stop. And you know that those guys, just like you discredited open world games when Zelda and friggin' Horizon Zero Dawn came out. Like, single-player games don't really hit like they used to. Scratch my head. Zelda and Horizon come out, and they go bangers, and they're like, Phil's like, well, I guess they do. Phil, just shut up, Phil. Stop. You say dumb things. Just shut up. And make the games do the talking, because you did say that too. You said that a while ago when Sony was coming out with all their with all their talk and you had the games. And you're like, just let the games do the talking. Yeah, take that advice. Just let the games do the talking. Yeah, he's going all in on Bing to compete with Google. Oh, trust me, I had a couple of tweets yesterday. I had to chill out because, man, I had a lineup of the Xbox onesie, the Xbox body wash, and I had Microsoft to Google to Amazon. We're coming for you. That's right, social. Like, if he said the wrong thing, I don't know where they get these interviews. I don't know if they all these websites are like, yo, get an interview with Phil Spencer because he says some dumbass shit that triggers everybody, and and people it just creates content because he says dumb stuff, because he says contradicting things, or he says something that somebody doesn't want to hear. And you have a fan base out there. You can't piss off the fans. And I'm telling, and you can't. And you say you listen to the fans. If you listen to the fans, you know what they want. So give them what they want. They've been asking for 3 friggin' years. When you stop making games, give them what they want. And stop talking about, like, it's funny is that when Phil was talking in that interview about competition, he goes, well, I can't have Sony fail so I look better. Like, he didn't want to talk about competition with Sony. And that he goes back then. He didn't want to, because he doesn't want to compete with them. He wants they fear Amazon and Google. They fear it. The problem is that Amazon and Google, they're already there. They already dominated. You know, they're already there. Google's everywhere. Amazon is the place that it's shutting down big stores. They're already there. They already established themselves. You're coming into this again like Windows Phone. When Google and iPhone were just dominating the space. And you're like, well, me too. Here's ours. Here's our phone. We geeky. We bought Nokia. We threw money at the problem. We bought Nokia. How'd that turn out? Amazon and Google are there. They're established. That's right. That Fortune interviewer was talking. Yeah, he was taking Phil's BS. But Phil kept saying, like, well, you just got to be better. So I don't know if Phil needs a class in competition, but they're fighting an uphill battle in every aspect in the consumer division, not in enterprise. And this is not speaking about Microsoft as a company. This is speaking about the Xbox division, the Phil Ness division, the Phil Spencer group. That's the group that we care about as gamers. Care about Office. I don't care about Windows Stacks and Excel. What's going on with Xbox? How are you positioning this thing? And I think Xbox is definitely deemed for success. Yes, the Windows Phone up. I'm telling you, they had some great concepts in Windows Phone, but they abandoned it. They couldn't get the developers. But the thing is like, I think xCloud does have the content. I think Microsoft can win this cloud space if this is where they want to go. Not to say I want to play in this space, but they can win. They can be successful in it because they got games already. Google's still struggling to get real games, like their own games, exclusive games. Like, they can do this. But I just think that they're Excel's great. That's right. But anyway, I think xCloud is going to be good. But it's just like, you know, it should be an option. It's an extension of your gaming. But to be the thing, I don't know. I don't think so. Not for me, at least. But anyway, thank you again to the 350 subscribers. Please hit that subscription button if you have not. Hit the notifications because these grinds my gears come in fast and furious. But I want to thank you all again. And this is Jez7780. Go follow me over on Twitter and subscribe to the YouTube and like and share this video. Thanks again, everybody. I'm out.